Hello everyone. Join me at Nottingham Teamsport for the BIKC regional finals. You'll notice instantly that it's a bit different. I'm actually doing a voiceover for the video. Thought, why not? Well, the video is a bit more of a special occasion instead of it just being a members event at Warrington. We're at not nationals yet. We're at regionals at Teamsport Nottingham with the rest of the locals from Warrington, which is my local, and the top 6 locals, or the ones that actually turned up, from Trafford, Preston and Watford. Obviously knew some of the names coming into this that were pretty big. Biggest one probably being Johnny Elliott, BIKC heavyweight champion from 2022. So I knew there was going to be some pretty stiff competition coming into this. On the build-up, I'd only done 2 members events in the build-up, both on Speed 4, which was more than some people had done, but I know it was less than a few others that were in these regionals. So one guy that I'd been on both sessions with, Kebs, quick guy from Watford. He's a bit of an unknown for me because obviously I don't know any of the Watford lot. I've never seen any of them before, never met any of them, so I don't know what the pace was like around tracks that weren't their own. But Kebs was quick, so I knew it was going to be a bit of a struggle, to be honest. Trying to get into a top 3, but I'm confident in my own pace. I'm confident in my own ability, and I'm pretty sure I did set the fastest time out of anyone who was at regionals in the heavyweights in the build-up. I did a 31.497, I think it was, which was within the same tenth as the heavyweight that record, which is in the low 31.4s, which I'm absolutely going to take. But yeah, that definitely gave me confidence, but I think it put a bit of pressure on my back, in all honesty. So I'm not used to the pressure of people knowing who you are, which was a bit of a difference compared to last year. So obviously it's my second time doing regionals. Last year I came in, I qualified at Liverpool, because Warrington was closed, brand new track. I think the first time I went to Liverpool was the week before qualifying opened at the BIKC last year. Got 2 locals after finishing 5th, went through to Stockton, came 2nd at Stockton, and then got through to Nationals. And people who are watching this video probably know what happened at Nationals, to be honest. The semi-final wasn't exactly amazing for myself. I got put under a barrier. It wasn't really anyone's fault. It is what it is, but I think going into this year, kind of wanted a bit of a redemption for it. So as much as I just wanted to get top 3, I think I wanted to put sort of a mark on it and try and win the regionals. And it was all going to come down to the session that you're currently looking at, to be honest. So once we got the group splits, we'll go through the format first before I start talking about the qualifying session. So format for regionals, which took a slight change compared to last year, which I'll get to. So we got the 15-minute qualifying, which I'm out in now. That sets the grid positions for Heat 1. That then leads into the change that they made. So last year, your qualifying session was for both Heat 1 and Heat 2. This year, your finishing position in Heat 1 would be your grid start position for Heat 2. Then you then move on to the semi, which is based on points. So obviously the 2 drivers with the most points will start pole in separate semis, and then obviously they work down the list. The next best 2 are second place in the heats, and so on and so on. Top 6 finishes in both semi-finals then go into the grand final, and the grid positions on that are based on sort of like a head-to-head. So the 2 first place finishes in the semi-final, and then put head-to-head. Guy with the fastest lap time gets pole position, guy with the slower time gets put in second, and then second place in the semi-finals, and head-to-head, fastest gets third, second to fourth, so on and so on. And then top 3 go through to nationals, and then maybe if anyone gets a wild card at the track, they get through to nationals as well. So yeah, that's the format. So we came into this qualifying, and I was pretty confident after the group split. I knew I managed to avoid Johnny Elliott, which was the biggest name I thought at the time. I actually had Johnny down as winning regionals, to be honest, but avoided his group, so I'm not going to complain at the end of the day. So came into this qualifying session, I was 100% confident that I could get pole position, and after a few laps I kind of had a feeling that I was going to get pole. Didn't think every time. I was pretty confident pretty much early on. I saw every time I looked behind and there was someone behind me, I was pulling a gap on them. I wasn't showing everyone else because I honestly didn't have everyone behind me. So I think the most unknown thing was the pace that Kebs had, and hoping that I was avoiding a bad car at the end of the day. At this point we're not really setting like rapid times, in all honesty, or times where you can see me get frustrated and I'm just making silly mistakes. So fastest time so far is a 32.212, which I know, even looking at the footage, that I can 100% go faster than this. The driving's not exactly perfect, missing apex, is not taking the lines that I want. But the session was a bit strange, to be honest. There seemed to be a bit of a cat and mouse going on. I think a few people obviously knew the time that had set on the build-up, and they knew their pace, so I think there was a bit of wanting to get behind me and hope I could copy my lines or be able to follow me and end up setting a quick time, which was, I'm not bothered at the end of the day if that's how people want to go about it. There's nothing in the rules that say you can't do it. It's just annoying trying to set times when people are constantly making sure it gets a bit distracting, but I just got to block it out at the end of the day. So last lap, obviously, just came over the line with a 31.885. That was my first 31 second lap time. Decent pace. So I know this lap obviously isn't going to be as good because I've just done a line send, kept it to the right, so this lap is going to be pretty weak in the 32s, but coming onto this lap, which is my fastest of the qualifying session, the lap's really clean. A bit of correction going into that hairpin. I was actually having issues with that hairpin all day, weirdly enough. The hairpin that I'd always had issues with coming to this was actually this hairpin here. Could not hit the apex at any point during the 2 practice sessions that I'd done. But this lap I'd actually nailed it, and then this corner, just hugging the apex, was unbelievable. And then coming across the line with 31.789, set the line a bit as I was catching the 2 guys ahead, so I knew the next lap was going to get slowed down. And then started slowing down, backing up a bit, and then seeing who's behind me. I don't know if I let this guy through, I don't know who it is, maybe Jason who I let through. Yeah, it's Jason and Nathan Williams. And then Nathan Williams backs off, and then Nathan ends up letting me back through. But the next lap kind of gets ruined. I don't think he meant it going into this lap, but you can see my edge a little bit, and I get nudged in the back by him, and it just instantly ruins that. Nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. Everyone has their own ways of taking that corner, so I'm not going to complain too much. But I don't go quicker than that time throughout the whole qualifying session. I do set, I think I set 5 times in the 31s, and every single one was good enough for pole. I think I took pole by just under 2 tenths, which I'm absolutely not going to complain about sticking it on pole. To repeat it last year, I just knew I had to try and continue the pace going on to the heats and the semis, and see what happens at the end of it. But I've let the rest of the qualifying session play out. Nothing spectacular happens. It's just a qualifying session at the end of the day. But yeah, I'll let it run through and I'll come back to heat 1. So yeah, we are in now for heat 1. We've got James running through the way I wanted the start of the race to go. I knew how to lead the start of the race. I have that experience last year leading both heats in the semi at Stockton, so I knew I went walking pace up until the lights go green basically. I think if I didn't know where the lights were going to go green, I was going to be a bit thrown off because I expected them to go off on the back straight before the last corner, but they did it towards the beginning of that, which was a bit weird. So yeah, the the time started now, so you'll see that on the overlay, but the race technically only gets going at this point, so the first lap's going to be like quite slow. But yeah, so let's go green, get through the first hairpin of the ramp, and honestly the first few laps, the plan I made for the first few laps was just to pull away from Kebs, to be honest. I wanted to get a bit of breathing space from Kebs just so I could race, in all honesty, and the hope was that Luke was going to start fighting with him, which doesn't end up happening. Luke gets overtaken by Jason at some point, and then Jason catches up to Wally and does distract him a bit, but it allows me to pull away, in all honesty. So I was pretty confident going into the race that I would be able to pull the gap. Nothing spectacular really happened. So got kart 30 seemed pretty decent. I ended up sort of changing my hand position. It was unplanned, the hand position. I normally don't race with my hands and like more at the top of the steering wheel, but it seemed to work out a bit. Seemed to have a bit more control over the steering wheel, and it was just getting used to it, in all honesty, which I ended up just continuing for the rest of the race. But towards the end I pulled a 6 second gap to Kebs. I think he went into a bit more of a defensive role, I think, in all honesty, because he is quick, Kebs, but he ended up with Jason and he's equally just as quick. I think he just got a bad car in quali, in all honesty, Jason, which did end up getting pulled out of fleet for the semi, but then he threw him back into the grand final. But you know, it is what it is. I ended up not getting it, so I don't really care. But yeah, not much to talk about in the heat, to be honest. I'll just let it play through. It's just literally me hot lapping for 16 full laps. So yeah, I'll take the win. Spoiler alert. But, yeah, I'll just let this heat run through and I'll come back for heat 2. So now we are going to Heat 2. Just James commending me on my absolutely blinding performance leading the pack. I mean, at the start of the race, not for the race. But yeah, so we're going to Heat 2. Pretty confident off the back of the first heat, in all honesty. I walked into the barrier, I saw the 6 second gap, and I was just like, Jesus, I'll take that. And hopefully I do it in the rest of the races. But little did I know how bad this kart was going to be. I'm pretty sure it's kart 23. You'll see it on the overlay when it comes up at the start of the first full lap. But yeah, it was such a strange kart to drive. Power-wise, it was completely fine power-wise, but through the left-handers, it just didn't want to hook up to the corner. So obviously I didn't take that final corner very well, and I tilt my head in a bit. That's a bit weird, but every left-hander, it was so strange. I was struggling through that hairpin at the bottom of the down ramp, and then the final hairpin, weirdly enough, it felt really good through every other section of the track. So I knew I was pulling away from Kebs in second around most of the lap, and then I would instantly lose all the time around that last corner. And the time doesn't really reflect. My first full lap was a 32 flat. It seems pretty quick, but I don't think I go faster than that at any point now up until later on in the race. Yeah, it was such a strange car to drive, but yeah, it goes yellow at some point in the race. I think it's around lap 11. There's a yellow flag for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure what it was, and went yellow for like 10 seconds, and at that point I was just thinking to myself, like, just try something different with the car, like press the brake a little harder through the final hairpin and try and get the back end to step out and see what happens. And my god, it worked. You'll see it towards the end of the heat, it goes yellow, and then literally every full lap after that point I'm just doing 31.7s, 31.8s, I don't know about anyone 31.9s. I know the fastest lap was a 31.7 in the race, but yeah, I don't know what it was, and I ended up pulling I think at the end of the race I was 1.4 seconds ahead of Kebs in the end. I think it was 1.5, I'm not entirely sure, but it was better than what it was, which I think over the line it was literally on my bumper. I think it literally at some point you'll see me turn around at one lap, and he's pulling up beside me. I didn't realise how much of a better run he was getting. I mean, he was getting a pretty bad run, but yeah, this car, man, I couldn't wait for the race to end. It felt like it went on further with this car. I just wanted to get rid of it, but yeah, we take the race winning this. In a bad car, I'll take. I mean, it's not the easiest track to overtake on, so it was pretty easy to defend on. All you had to do was basically do a semi-defensive line, and no one was really going to try and send a move on you. I've watched the race from Keb's perspective. He's uploaded his POV of the event, and yeah, he gets really close. I think one lap he does look up the inside into the first corner, but it's not really going to make an overtake at that part of the lap. In all honesty, it's too risky. It's it's not a braking zone, and you just can't really send it up there. But yeah, Kebs was on the pace. I think Jason got pretty unlucky with the yellow flag. I think he got jumped by Luke, who, when they swapped positions, he ended up getting the position back in this heat. Just off the restart, I just caught napping. I'm not sure what. Maybe just looked away from the lights at a long time. But yeah, it's coming up in a few laps, the yellow flag, and but yeah, I just let it play through. There's not, I'm not really fighting anyone. I'm not having to attack or go majorly defensive around the track. So it's yeah, you can see I'm frustrated with the car though. I actually jinked to the middle of the track because Kebs is literally pulling up beside me. I would have put him in the barrier. And, yeah, I think that's the closest Kebs gets to sniffing up the inside at any point anywhere. for the rest of the race. I like play through. I think the yellow flag comes out like lap 11, and enjoy some hot laps of Teamsport Nottingham for the rest of the race. So now you join me in the semi-final. So starting pole, I've got Kebs behind me again. We've ended up in the same semi-final. Can't remember who was in third, but yeah, it's me and Kebs first and second. So I knew I still had a quick guy behind me. The only other option was going to be obviously Johnny Elliott, which equally as quick, if not quicker than Kebs. We all know Johnny's got some pace when it matters. But yeah, this heat was the semi-final was a bit different compared to the quali in the two heats. So the quali in the first two heats, we were actually the first heavyweight group in both of them, and this semi we were actually in the second group out, so it was a bit different. I think I preferred it this way. So I watched the first semi-final and saw the times. Obviously I knew that I needed to beat, if I was going to stay in first, I needed to beat the time in first place, which Lewis won and set a time of a 31.499, which any of the locals at Nottingham will tell you that's a rapid time. I think Johnny went even quicker. I can't remember what time he did. I thought he'd done a 31.465, but when I looked at the leaderboards, the time wasn't there. So I think I just misread it, and I think maybe he'd done a 31.485. I mean, he's more than welcome to correct me if he does watch the video. But yeah, so I knew the time was rapid that I was going to have to beat. I knew it was beatable. Obviously, I'd done a time similar to it on the build-up, so I knew the time was definitely beatable. It was just going out and doing it. Luckily for me, I pulled the card that either Lewis or Johnny used. I can't remember which one used it. And obviously they'd done a 31.4, so I knew that the car was 100% capable of going quicker or even doing a similar time. It was just obviously doing it. And yeah, them times are quick that you got to beat. We're within the same 10th as the heavyweight that record, so it was going to take some doing. But yeah, it was just hoping that I could pull a bit of a gap to Kebs and not really worry about having to defend at any point or being taken out, and I could just literally treat it as a qualifying session. I think we do pull a bit of a gap. He closes up some laps and we make mistakes, and he's had a cleaner lap and whatnot, but it was never really causing me any issues. So I could just, like I said, so I was able to treat it like a qualifying session like I wanted to. But there's not much to speak about. There was a couple of yellow flags for whatever reason. I'll let it run through a bit, and I'll come back towards the end of the race. So yeah, we're towards the end of the semi-final now, and as you can see, I'm not really getting anywhere near. I mean, I'm pretty close to it, but it's still like 700ths off the time that I need to beat. I don't know, it was like, there was obviously nothing wrong with the car, it was just a skill issue at the end of the day that I wasn't setting rapid times. Like, the pace is there, but just haven't set it until this point. Like, we're coming on to the last lap now, and obviously I don't realise that we're coming on to the last lap now. But do a 31.673 is not a bad lap time, but this lap, it is pretty clean. Don't really make any mistakes. I think I make a bit of a correction in the steering through this hairpin now, coming up. Yeah, I turned it a bit too early and have to sort of release the steering a bit. But going into this last corner now, this was probably the best I took this whole corner the full race. See the checkered flag, and we set the 31.482 crossing the line on the final lap, which did in fact give me pole position going into the grand final. Almost put Kevs in the barrier there. I didn't actually realise it was there. Like, massive shout out to Kebs. The guy was honestly so sound all day. He's like positive all day. He was always coming over, shaking your hand. He hugged me a couple of times. He hugged me at the end of the heat 2 and the semi-final. But yeah, it's like, he's such a cool guy. He does have his own YouTube channel. I'll put it in the description. He does have his own POV of the regions, like I said in heat 1 or 2. I can't actually have said it in there, but yeah, go and watch that. It's good to see how bad my carts were and how good his driving is. But yeah, so we go on to the grand final now. I got pulled kart 12 and Lewis behind me in second. So it was me, Lewis, and then Johnny and Keb started 4th this time. I don't know what karts. I think Keb's had 34, which is the kart I had in qualifying. Johnny might have had kart 30 or 20, I can't exactly remember. Lewis actually pulled kart 23, which I'd had in heat 2, which was pretty awful for a couple of corners, so I'm just not particularly great. So I did tell him about that, and I said, well, I thought it was weak, and then I ended up pulling kart 12, which was a bit of an unknown. I don't know anyone who had the kart up until this point, so I didn't know if it was good or bad. But we literally came and was like, you see already, I'm getting frustrated with the car. It just wasn't very good, especially through that double right-hander there. It was... So I lift off on entry for that, and get it to turn in, and then get like partly on the power and then start full throttle. But as soon as you went full throttle, the car just did not want to power through the corner. So like certain points of the race, I've got my foot planted and Lewis is tapping me in the back towards the corner exit because my car's so bad through it. It felt like driving the car in the same conditions as qualifying, and at this point the track's really gripped up and the tyres should be fairly warm, and I don't know, out of the car I haven't been used much, or the track had cooled down, but I just don't feel like it had cooled down. Like, everyone's tyres weren't really reflective with the grip, and I know that was partly because I think I held up a train of 7 carts behind me. I think it went all the way back up to Luke in 7th, I'm pretty sure. And like, you know, I set 31.82 though, so like, you think the car isn't terrible and I should get quicker as the grand final goes on, but I think I only did a 31.7 as my fastest lap, so, and I could not really get away. Lewis said I was pulling away towards like after the hairpin before the up bump. He said that whole section up until this corner now that I would basically pull a bit of a gap and then I'd just lose it through the first section. It just, yeah, I could not really work out this car at all. But yeah, we luckily for us we do hold on for the win at the end of it, so definitely an improvement on last year. But I'll let the video play through. I'll come back at the end of the grand final. So, got a couple of laps left of this race now. At this point, I'm just holding on for dear life. Not exactly setting the time sheets on fire. Fastest lap at this point is 31.717, and I don't go faster than the remaining 2 laps. So it's like going so defensive. Because this car was absolutely diabolical. I think the other issue in probably later on in the race is that it kept understeering through the right hand at the bottom of the down ramp. Even when I wasn't going that defensive, it was still putting quite a bit of lock into the steering just to get it to not hit the barrier. But I'm going so defensive. Like there, I was unnecessarily going defensive. I was praying to the end of the race, in all honesty. Well, mega defensive again here. Just sure he doesn't send it up the inside. I don't think Lewis was actually ever that close to go up the inside there. As we were on the final corner, you see the jagged flag and we just really shaking my head. Slap of the steering wheel. And shake hands with Lewis. Get some excuses out to Lewis now. I got Johnny behind him, shake hands with Johnny. And Johnny had actually been rapid all day. He did really well considering he qualified third in his first heat. He made a good place instantly in that heat and stuck behind Lewis for the rest of it. Shook hands with Kebs there, shake hands with Jason, and then we get Luke Chapman, who's from Preston, another sound guy, and there's also Scott Foran from Preston, another guy that we met is pretty sound. Nathan Williams, who beat us at regionals last year and got through to nationals, and then Luke Kenny. Luke Kenny's rapid, man. Like, considering he'd only done, I don't know how much practice, he didn't do very much practice, and it was all on speed 3. Considering it was his first year and his very minimal practice, he did very, very well to get into the grand final. He didn't qualify in a position in the first place that would have took him into the grand final if he'd have started there, but he did really, really well, and I know Luke's rapid around Warrington, so if it had got through, he'd definitely be one to watch for. So we're doing a victory lap now. We're going through to nationals, which was the aim. Taking the win was something I did want to do, as I said earlier on in the video, but we'll see how it goes in nationals. I think there's a bit of pressure on me to do well. I think people know that I am pretty quick at Warrington. You'd hope so with it being a local track. But fist bump the marshal and start getting some more excuses out to him. But yeah, nationals, we'll see how it goes, but don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I know what I'm capable of. So yeah, video's coming to an end, so I'll see if I'll upload some more members events on the build up to nationals. I don't know if I'll do more voiceovers, it's literally my first time doing one, but yeah, I shall see you at nationals next month. Goodbye.